Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the Ice Age. My name is Iceman. I'm bringing you the first episode of a new series on my channel. The series is called The Freezer, and it's basically a variety series where I talk to you guys about things that are interesting to me or just on my mind for some particular reason. I decided to call it The Freezer because I think it's a little bit like looking through the back of your freezer that you haven't seen in a while and finding all kinds of different stuff in there. Maybe it's something tasty, maybe it's something a little strange or unusual, something you forgot was in there, haven't thought about. And that's what I kind of wanted this series to be like, just a random assortment of topics that catch my interest. The background videos will be some cool gameplay for you guys to watch from a handful of different games that I play, but I'm not really going to talk about the gameplay in the videos because the gameplay is kind of just there for you guys to watch while you listen to me talk or rant about whatever it is for the video. So I'll give you guys a little intro on what's going on here. This is Halo 4 multiplayer gameplay. I was playing in the new Heavies playlist, and this is my first game back in Halo 4 after playing Battlefield for a while, so I was a little rusty, had to get used to the different controller, the joysticks, and the buttons and everything again. So it was a lot of fun. We ended up making a huge comeback and winning the game at the end, which was really awesome, really good start to the Halo 4 session. But yeah, so that's enough about the gameplay, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the series. And I've wanted to do a series like this for quite a while, actually, because YouTube is just such an awesome, diverse community. And I thought it would really be a cool, interesting change of pace to talk about things that really aren't gaming related with you guys. I've gotten to know some of you guys a lot better, especially through the collab sessions and all that good stuff. And I've kind of wanted to, talk about some of these topics with you guys, see what you guys think. The series isn't really going to be scheduled for a particular day of the week or upload frequency or anything like that. This is kind of just me talking about stuff whenever I feel like talking about it. So expect these videos to show up when I have something new to talk about. I'll try to keep them, semi-regular though. Don't want to go months or weeks or anything without one of them, but hopefully I'll be able to, come up with stuff to talk about with you guys because I do have quite a few things on the list already. And yeah, so to get started, for this first episode, I wanted to talk about something that applies pretty closely to me and something that many people have somewhat of a strong opinion about, actually, and I'm sure you guys guessed it from the title of the video, but I wanted to talk about sarcasm today. I am a sarcastic person, just so you guys know where I'm coming from. Sarcasm is part of my personality. It's natural for me, kind of a habit, however you want to say it. Basically, my view on sarcasm is that I always am looking for the humor in a situation, regardless of whether or not it might embarrass somebody. And that second part of the statement is something that I don't really consciously think about, I guess. And I think that's kind of a key component of sarcasm that a lot of people don't understand. So basically, this video, I wanted to kind of give you guys a better understanding of sarcastic people. If you're not sarcastic, hopefully this will help you see kind of on the same level as somebody who's sarcastic. If you are that sarcastic friend, maybe this will help you kind of see some other views on the sarcasm thing and, maybe make you a little bit more aware of when you're doing it or if it's pissing somebody off or something like that. So yeah, so like I said, it's just me kind of looking for the humor in situations where there might not be any humor necessarily or any obvious humor. It's not me trying to be mean, not really trying to be a jerk or anything. It's really just pointing out the humor or the coincidence or, whatever I happen to notice. And this kind of goes along pretty well with my personality. I am pretty good at noticing patterns and coincidences and weird little similarities between things that happen in my life. And if I see something like, oh man, that person just did something dumb, and that was, pretty similar to that other time when this other person did something kind of dumb and funny, I'll just say it. And, that kind of gets on people's nerves sometimes. And it's not something that I think about. It's just I see the similarity, see the coincidence, and I just point it out because in my mind it's funny. It's, wow, I can't believe both of those people happen to do very similar things that were dumb. And if, those people are around, they're probably not going to be super happy about it unless, they're the kind of person that can handle sarcasm, handle that kind of humor. And I understand that this is something that's difficult for some people to grasp, difficult for some people to get used to. It's not your average run-of-the-mill humor, and that's why, most people aren't big fans of sarcasm, I suppose. And it's been kind of hard to handle sometimes when a good friend of mine just reacts very differently to a sarcastic comment that I make, even though I thought they would have understood, that I was sarcastic, and they should have kind of expected that, I guess, because sarcasm in my conversations at least is a pretty big player, happens in most conversations. If you say something a little weird or off key or something, I'll just say something about it, and it's totally reflexive. It's not me thinking about it and saying, oh man, I really should be sarcastic about that. It's just I hear something weird, my brain just automatically comes up with a kind of funny response to it or something, and it just happens to be sarcastic. And it's something that you can work on, and I've gotten much less sarcastic in public recently just because of my job and everything, and I understood that that's sometimes a turn off for people trying to talk to you, especially if you're trying to meet new people. Sarcasm is usually not the way to go for that. It's really a hard thing to get somebody interested in if you're just leading off all of your topics and questions and answers, whatever, with sarcasm. It can be a little rough, and I understand that, so it's changed for me recently, but sarcasm is still there, and I enjoy being sarcastic just because it lets me see humor where sometimes there isn't any. And I think that's kind of a big piece of sarcasm that a lot of people don't understand. So to kind of differentiate right now with some stereotypes and stuff, I wanted to talk a little bit about the two kinds of sarcastic people that, at least in my view, are kind of the two prevalent kinds. So the first kind of sarcasm that I see or hear when people talk is actually the stereotypical kind where they are trying to be kind of a jerk, trying to be mean to somebody. And there's a couple reasons for this. Maybe they're trying to make themselves feel better. They've had a bad day, and they, kind of want to take it out on somebody, kind of get some humor at somebody else's expense. Or maybe they are just that kind of person that doesn't like other people. Maybe they are just trying to exert their, separation from all the people that they hate, and that's just sarcasm is just the way that they do that during the day. Maybe they're trying to get back at somebody, so they make a kind of a snotty, sarcastic comment about something. All these things are kind of the stereotypical, I guess, sarcasm where you're doing it to be a little off-putting, or you're trying to kind of separate yourself from other people. And because that seems to be how most people use sarcasm, I mean, sarcasm gets a pretty bad rap from most people, I think, these days. If you tell somebody that you're sarcastic, that kind of sets off flags in their head, sets off little alarms like, oh man, I really shouldn't talk about, X, Y, or Z around this person because they might tear me a new one if I say something weird, or just the topic in general, whatever. And sarcasm kind of puts people on their guard. You maybe don't see their true interests and everything because they're kind of a little afraid to bring it up in front of you or something like that. But and I'm just a little upset, I guess, that people automatically assume that about me when they figure out that I'm sarcastic, because I kind of fit more into this second sort of sarcasm that I see in people, and that's the humorous one. And I've kind of explained this, I guess, already throughout the video, but sarcasm is just a great way for me to just see humor when I might not have seen humor before. And it's a good way to, I guess, change up the view on a particular topic if it's not one that you liked originally. But I realize that this also can be optimistic or pessimistic. You know, it can be good or bad. You know, it's fine to say, oh man, this is a bad situation, but you know, throw in a sarcastic comment. Maybe it's a little humorous now, kind of takes the edge off. You know, kind of just makes the situation a little bit more easily handled. But I understand that it can also be kind of bad because if the situation is not humorous for a reason, if it's a very serious, grave situation, you know, you probably shouldn't be making jokes about it. Probably shouldn't be trying to find humor in it, and that's something that I still kind of struggle with, is that even if the situation is very serious, I still have this desire to, you know, find something funny about it, to laugh about it, to make it a little less serious. You know, I don't want to be sitting there thinking about bad things or serious things if they're not good. And you know, sarcasm is a way to not do that. It's a way to kind of see the lighter side of things, I guess. And sometimes that's, you know, inappropriate for the situation or whatever, but that's kind of how I see sarcasm. It's how I know a lot of people out there see sarcasm, but it's hard to distinguish that from the stereotypical being mean kind of sarcasm. And you know, that it kind of bothers me at times, which is why I wanted to make this video, just to put it out there for you guys in some clearer terms, that not everybody's being a jerk if they're being sarcastic. Maybe they're just looking to be a little funny, and if it happens to be at somebody's expense, well, maybe they just didn't think about it that hard. You know, they just wanted to say something. So I really hope you guys learned something from this video. I really wanted to put this out there just so you guys could kind of get a better understanding of sarcasm and people like me. So if you did learn something, please put in the comments, you know, what you guys think about it, your opinions, what you guys like or don't like about sarcasm, whatever. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like, rating, subscribe, all that good stuff. Lets me know you guys are interested. And until next time, stay frosty.